Ain't that the truth? Them stocks, them stonks gone wild. Hey, everybody. Thanks for taking a second to watch this video. I'm going to make it extra informative. The Main Street media has started to create the narrative, and it reminds me a lot of Occupy Wall Street, good 10 years ago. But instead of getting out in front of Wall Street, some very creative tech companies have allowed the average Jane and Joe to play in the stock market. And that's what they're saying. They're saying that everybody's just playing and nobody knows what they're doing. And they have to save you from yourself. It's these hedge funds, man. I tell you what, greed is good, right? And they're now understanding that if they don't have the power, things can get a little shaky for them. But wait a second. Do they have the power? Let's not get too carried away with ourselves here. Retail investing is about 25% of the investment market. The other 75% is held by institutional banking. Mr. Warren Buffett himself has $300 billion in cash. So what I wanted to do and what this spurred in my memories was a couple of other market crashes that I've been around for. None have had the advent of the internet, but power talks. Let's take a second and see if we could hear this interview. They warned us.
Together on GameStop. Let's bring in Jacob Frankel. He's a former senior counsel for the SEC's Enforcement Division, now a partner at Dickinson Wright. Jacob, great to have you as always. What in your view is going wrong here? This is just a group of investors on a social media site.
Well, there's nothing wrong with the free speech, but what we really have here, in my view, is a kids gaming stock that needs adult supervision. And I think that adult supervision is probably an SEC trading suspension. Everything that's going on is certainly going to invite an SEC investigation. The whole purpose of a trading suspension, which is different than a circuit breakers, is the SEC has the administrative ability to suspend trading when there are questions about the accuracy of publicly available information. And you have this competing dialogue as to what really is going on at the company and what's motivating the trading in the stock, or the shorts and the longs. But also, one of the bases for a trading suspension is a possible or potential stock manipulation. That would be something that the SEC would look at. But again, when you have this level of volatility and the circuit breakers are not sufficient or not accomplishing their objective, that really is the next option. And just to be clear, a trading suspension is not permanent. It is strict. It is a 10-day trading suspension that is within the SEC's statutory authority, and it's something that the SEC wielded 35 to 40 times in connection with COVID-related stocks.
Mm-hmm. How do you prove market manipulation? I mean, how do you prove that anything that anybody is saying on Reddit or any other site for that matter is wrong or done with an intent to manipulate the stock price? And why is this different from a bunch of investors on an Apple thread talking about the stock of Apple? It's just Apple's a much bigger market cap, doesn't move as much.
Well, Melissa, that really is a great question. That's exactly what the SEC would look at. And what it would look at is it will align what is being said, the accuracy of what is being said, and who is doing the trading, and is there some type of, big word from the last couple of years, collusion within that trading. But when we're talking about manipulation, what we're really talking about from an investigative purpose is that the SEC would look at whether there's actual active trading for the purpose of raising, or in the case of the shorts, depressing the price of a security for the purpose of inducing others to buy or sell that security. That's what the SEC is going to look at. It's a very time-consuming process, kind of stuff I worked on when I was at the SEC, and actually found very, very challenging and interesting, because you really then are getting into the motivation, the communications, the timing, and the information. And in this day and age, everything's fast.
Well, let me ask you this question, and I guess I'm just going to play the role of devil's advocate, and from the perspective of what I've read on this Wall Street Bets thread, how is this any different from a couple of hedge funds or a few hedge funds saying that they're going to go short a stock? They've communicated via email. One goes on CNBC or on Twitter and states that they have a short case, puts out a YouTube video. Isn't that the same? Isn't that manipulation, except on a bigger scale? These are bigger shareholders. They have bigger voices. They're the quote-unquote smart money on Wall Street. They can get away with it? That's not manipulation?
No, and certainly hedge funds can participate in manipulative activity. There's nothing that, that really puts one institution over a series of individuals. When we talk about stock manipulation, I mean, I remember back in 2001, the SEC brought an enforcement case against a 15-year-old high school student for stock manipulation. So it's not that there's any particular characteristic, and certainly
all right.
institutions.
Okay, I see what they're doing there, right?
Stock, which is experiencing.
Mr. Smiley guy here setting up the case. He's I'll get into who he is in a second. But they're setting up. I did this yesterday, and today is the 28th. Yesterday was right when the GameStop situation was really getting volatile and reaching the CNBC, and they started to screech. And since then, you can't trade GameStop, BlackBerry, there's a Jambase. You can't trade them on Webull. You can't trade it on Robinhood. So he was right, and it was a warning, and he gave us that warning. So who is that guy, right? I like to do my research. I like to find out who's who and what's what. This is Mr. Jacob Frankel, and Mr. Jacob Frankel served as the vice chairman of AIG from 2004 to 2009. And if you recall, in 2007 and 2008, AIG was too big to fail, as was Merrill Lynch. So Mr. Frankel here really is in a kerfuffle, talking about small, almost disparaging small investors, Main Street investors. Why? Because this guy's a member of the CFR. He's a member of the Trilateral Commission. Right, when you get down to it, Mr. Jacob Frankel, he's the leader of the Group of 30, which is the bankers of the bankers. It's where the IMF goes to get its monetary policy. So this guy's been around so long. Now, he was there for the dot-com bubble. He saw that. He saw people get away with things there. He was there for all the movies that they've made, The Wolf on Wall Street. Mr. Jacob Frankel was there as a leading authority, letting it all happen. And now he's going to tell us that us retail investors don't know what we're doing. And he's got the right people that can take a deep look into what we're going to do. Get out of here. Get out of here, Jake. But it happened. I mean, we caught their attention. Now what? They took away Wall Street Bets. A bunch of other Reddit streams of popped up, and they're warning us. They're going to examine short selling, and I made this last night, and there's so much that has happened today, and even now the politicians are coming out on whatever side they want to be on. Most of them, and it's funny, I think Ted Cruz and AOC agreed on something, which tells me that there's blood in the water. Remember what I said. This is about 25% of the market. And what that should mean to you is that at any moment, one of those big dogs can come in and swoop the market right out of there. Maybe like Mr. Buffett here, who has $137 billion in cash. That's huge. He could sneeze and move the market. That's 75% of the market. So they might be setting us up. They might be setting us up with all the media attention, saying that they've got to change regulations because what we're doing and how we're doing things. They're going to shake some weak hands. They're going to correct the market. And every retail investor that is using their rent money or is not paying their student loans and investing in the stock market instead, or anybody that's considered a retail investor that also has day-to-day bills to pay, they're going to shake them out. And they're going to get everything at a discount. That's how it works. So what do you watch these fundamentals? Watch for rising interest rates. When bond purchases are down. When there's out of whack stock valuations. It's all there. These are just headlines from I think the last week. Interest rates, they're coming. They're not 70s style coming, but they're coming. Bonds are weak. Valuation is crazy. So what do? Stay close to the exit. Really though, stay close to the exit. If you're going to invest, be smart. You could use these apps. Now I'm going to make another video about another way to invest, because both Webull and Robinhood really towed the institutional line and stopped investing, or stopped their users to be able to invest in these stocks. And it's their right to do it. It's their legal right to do it. But I think they're going to suffer from doing it. So what do? You're going to play it safe, right? You're going to stay close to the exits. Be involved. Be heard. Be safe. Like I said at the intro, this reminds me a lot of Occupy Wall Street, when the common person had, for a short, brief while, a seat at the table. Now, that completely fell apart because it was real, and everybody turned against it. By everybody, I mean every large institution. That's a whole other concept, whole other video, other conversation. But you have the same type of opportunity now, and with this one, you can make money. You're playing their own game. We have some great technology now. You'll see here, although Wall Street Bets is gone, in the link, in the description to this video, you'll see the link to this website here that has the top listings for the stonks that were on Wall Street Bets, and you could pick that list apart, go through those companies, and see if it's something that you want to invest in. But if you want to know where the internet's going, the link in the description, it updates itself. It's really neat. So you'll see what the internet is talking about, and you could kind of ride that wave. But be safe, for real. Be safe. It's not a game. It's not a casino. There's a lot of math that goes into it. There's bots now that trigger buys and sells. It's something that if you have the knowledge and the opportunity to do, there's about a year and a half more of this wild, wild west of stocks before they bring some regulations, even after the correction that's coming. But when the correction comes after, just jump right back in, because you got another year of making money. Cool. So, like I said, you could use Webull, Robinhood. There's another one called M1 Finance, which is great. It's like that's the safest one of them all. M1 Finance is really cool because it allows you to pick a pool of stocks, like a 401k, and you divide let's say you have $100. You divide your $100 into your pool of stocks. Say you have 4 stocks, and you disperse your $100 amongst those 4 stocks as you see fit. And then you check in on that pie every once in a while, and you can adjust the amount that's going in to each stock, so you're not stuck with the same looking pie. It's a really, really cool next step to Webull and Robinhood. If you're going to do crypto, you could do Webull, you could do Robinhood, but check out Binance. That's a really good one. I'm just learning that right now. But if you click on the link to any one of those 3 in the description, you're going to get some free stocks. And that's a great way to start. It's now or never. Like I said, there's about a year of this left. All right. So thanks for taking the time to watch this video. I hope you learned a little bit about what's going on out there between the lines of this whole stonk conspiracy. And I hope you buy some stocks. I really do. I hope you buy some crypto. I hope you buy some stocks. I hope you're involved. I hope you be heard. I hope you are safe. And most of all, I hope you have a great day. All right. We'll be speaking. Bye-bye.